All right, welcome everybody. We are heading into our Valorant block for the night, and we have a special guest. He told me he's only going to be in for one game, but we'll see. We'll see if we can convince him to stay longer. I know he's got some other priorities, but Random X is joining us. Immortal tier, correct?
Correct.
Yes. So an immortal player. He's been helping out the Badgers a little bit. So Random, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you an opportunity here to kind of tell everybody about yourself.
I'm just a small town guy from Minnesota, playing Valorant for fun, looking to go to college for Valorant. I will be transferring as a freshman. Spring Hill is one of my top options right now, and I love the guys there. Coach is an awesome guy, and yeah, I just really want to help out the program the best that I can and see them succeed.
I 100% promise I did not pay him or convince him to give me a little shout out there.
No money in the McDonald's bag
No,
like the Tennessee coaches.
that's right. Let's see. We're gonna make sure that we're getting our capture here. Sometimes Streamlabs does not agree with Valorant, so we're gonna mix things. There we go. All right. Let's see. Looks like we are good to go. All right, we're gonna swap out my overlay real fast. Show conference one down at the bottom. All right. So you still good? You see my you see our map and everything?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Here we go. Okay, so we are starting off with Ascent. I'm assuming the boys banned Icebox. Were you in there with
They
them for that?
did, yes. So the other team banned Bind, they banned Icebox, and this was the pick of Northern Alabama.
Okay. Okay. So we start off on Ascent, which I don't believe we've had an Ascent match for the past 2 weeks.
No, I don't believe so. Looking at the comps on each team right now, Spring Hill definitely has the advantage comp wise. They're going for a more EU strategy based style, and it looks like coming out of the North Alabama side, they have really a unique setup, I guess is a good way to put it, coming in with a Uru, which isn't really viable in comp right now, but we'll see what they can do with it.
What is it that you would say kind of puts Yoru not in the meta, or you would
So
say not
really,
viable?
really the reason why it's not viable right now is because Yoru is just a very loud character. Anytime he has to teleport, uses alt, his flashes, they all make a lot of noise before he actually goes to that position. And then once he goes to that position, it takes a second for his abilities to recharge.
I see
So,
Braden is bringing out Killjoy here, which he loves to play Killjoy on Ascent. We know that, being able to lock down the B site. We'll switch over. We
good
have
flash. Good job clearing with the drone.
Phoenix on point here as Spring Hill making their push onto site. Quick kills coming through for North Alabama. And unfortunately, only one of the North Alabama players was picked up there. Looks like so that classic gameplay, they need to step up some of that gunplay for sure.
Yeah, it looks like both sides were running with classics on that round. Right now, the meta is more around the frenzy. It's definitely getting a nerf in the upcoming patch. Looks like Spring Hill's going to go for a save round here, though, and play for their full buy next round.
I actually played some games earlier with the Frenzy light armor. It is pretty busted. So they're upping the price of that to I think 500.
Yep, and then it's going to make the Ghost more viable in the process as well.
So Spring Hill
Same with the
now
Stinger.
changing things up a little bit, going to the A site, playing this pretty slow, maybe trying to get some utility out. We do have that Omen, that Chandler, some loud footsteps there.
Yeah, they definitely made a little bit of noise here. They're going
Intro
to go
flash.
in.
And they did not check their corners.
One enemy remaining.
You gotta check your corners, boys.
Yeah, that's first person in. Totally understand to look to the left. Second guy in though, always got to look to the right. Got to make sure all those close corners are clear. Another thing that would have been really helpful there is a Sova arrow coming in and pinging that whole site. Definitely would have been able to ping them in that corner before they even flew out.
So looking at buys right now, Spring Hill coming in with SMGs, so looking to get up close and personal here. Rush in, don't want to take extended long-range gunfights. So this is where you can probably enlighten me. I would almost say in that situation, it may have been better just to dip around the corner and not shoot out the arrow, because shooting out the arrow tells them that you're there, and they weren't even in the hallway. So dipping around the corner, you wouldn't have given away that you were there, and let the
I
arrow
100%
expire.
agree in that situation. The raised drone as well, it would have bounced back by the angle of it. With that, if they were going for a hard B take off the rip like that, yeah, you definitely need to just hide from it and then just explode together. Right now, they're playing a very tight formation. I don't know if they are going to break out the defaults this game, which is something that I know that we've talked about over the last couple matches where they're not doing enough map control and spreading out and getting enough information before hitting the site.
Caught in the molly. So the Sage is down. It looks like they're sticking around here. It's kind of silly to, well, they almost have to commit now with only 30 seconds left. They're taking way too long for their play to develop. As we check in on the Phoenix, who is on point. They do pick up the Brim. Phoenix is picked up. The plant is going down. Stops the plant. He is picked up. Sova now watching door. And it's a 1v1. It's Sova v Sova now. We'll see what happens, but time runs out. I think well played once they got on site. They just didn't have enough time to execute.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming into this next round here, I'm interested to see with the full buy what they're going to do with their setup here. I know that Chandler before the game was talking about where his smokes are going. We're going to see how they execute with that. Right now, it doesn't look like they're going to go into a default and get map control again. Just going to all lean towards that B site. Not sure I'm loving this right now. If we watch the mini map in the top, you'll see with each round that goes by, as soon as they make noise, there'll be at least 3 players towards that B site. So this time they don't shoot out the arrow like you were talking about last round, which is a really nice play because it looks like they're going for a hard B hit here.
Which that is something that is concerning too. Is there's no noise being made on the other side of the map. But they're all inning, committing 100% to one site. So we're gonna see the Phoenix flash in on point, shooting out the bot, but there are no smokes coming in to help them with this push.
Great job there closing the door. Something that they've definitely been scrutinized on in the past. I would wait a little bit longer on that Killjoy ult to push in just so that they're not losing these guys early, but it looks like they're in a nice post plan here. Let's see what can happen.
All of that defense that the Killjoy can set up as we watch UNA come back to get back on site here. Bang through the box. Killjoy's left all by herself with 2 doors to watch.
Not much you can do when you get caught in a situation like that. Good retake smokes coming out of Alabama, northern Alabama. Right now, it's just one of those things where they just gotta coordinate a little bit more on the post plans and get the setups down before they're losing in these 4v3s. The other team definitely knows what they're doing with their smoke retake, so we'll see if they can make those little adjustments and spread out around the map a little bit.
I think one things that Spring Hill was definitely missing on that B take were smokes on the entrance instead of just the flash, because Phoenix flashed in, but didn't know where to look. You know, there was no smokes to be able to cut off some of those angles of defense.
Yeah, it looks like there was one late towards CT, but, you know, going up and trying to get that garage door closed without a smoke for it, not really much you can do there.
You see UNA all doing the full rotate here. Once that gun, all the gunfire comes through, once that Sage wall is broken, as we see Spring Hill now calling an audible, drawing some attention. Maybe they can get some picks on their way back over to another site. With Omen on point. Oh, we did not check his corner there. And So was able to pick up 2 before he's finally taken down. Not a positive trade there for Spring Hill's side. And now they're scrambling. They've got 48 seconds to make something happen.
Now this is a good lurk here by Chandler, as long as he doesn't peek out too soon. If he can just get in that market corner right to his right, crosshair placement a little low. But it looks like he will get in that corner eventually. If they can get the bomb down, this could be huge.
30 seconds left.
Ooh.
Spikes down. Placing alarm bot.
2v4 now. Killjoy can do a good job of holding down this bomb site, especially with those grenades.
Now here comes the retake smokes. One thing that they got to do is play this together. So they got to go for that first fight and then fall back into the backside together. Right now they're very cut off from each other, and Brandon's playing basically a 1v4.
Player standing.
That brim alt clearing out the back there is just very hard to come back from. As soon as that comes out, you're kind of caught out in the middle of nowhere. Don't really know where you're going to look as soon as you run out. It's like one of those split time decisions. Just have to rely completely on instincts. And in that situation, 2v4, it's just too much, too overwhelming for Spring Hill.
Looking across at the ults, we do see Yoru, Sage, and Sova sitting with ults ready for this next round. And Spring Hill, not with any, but their next round, they should be sitting really well. So this round's going to be a little difficult, but maybe they can use some of that to their in the next round to their advantage and try to swing this back in their favor, or at least try to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Right now, they're doing a good job hiding from that arrow. Looks like it did spot Calvin out in the end. Now, the biggest thing here is that I'm noticing every single round is that they're not playing a default. Every single time they're making noise towards one side, they're committing. Looks like they're not going to clear him out back line. That could be dangerous. Gets 2. They're going to get on the site, get that plant down at least. That's what their biggest goal is in this round, is just get the money towards the next round with these stingers and light buys.
Looking for some magic here for sure. Outnumbered 2-4.
Player standing. Sova removed.
Okay.
Interesting flash.
Yeah. Nice change of position though. The Molly's going to come through, unfortunately. And that's going to be a defuse for North Alabama.
Coming into this next round, I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with those 5 ults coming out on the side of Spring Hill. They definitely have the Killjoy ult, which I'm thinking they're going to lean towards B here, Coach. Or maybe throw a Killjoy ult fake towards A, it looks like. If Brandon's going that way, he's got to drop bomb over to them. But if Chandler can get that TP into back B after they pull a rotate, this would be a huge round. But it's good that they're not sending all 5 to the same site this round.
Yeah, it's everything's been looking fairly one-dimensional so far. And the Omen blind coming through. There's the Sova arrow. It does spot out the Yoru. Win the gunfight there.
Very
So
big.
yeah,
Very
big pick there. So now Spring Hill with the numbers advantage.
Now they don't need to commit here. They could fall back into a full take towards the site. Raze push through spawn right now. Not
Yeah.
going to look good.
Chandler does sniff it out though. Well done on his part. Switch ahead. Mintz picking up another one. 5v3 on the map for Spring Hill. As we look at Calvin getting some intel with the ult.
Great trade there by Chandler. That ult really works magic for Spring Hill. Just gives them the info that they have 1 deep B site, which usually means 1's deep CT spawn. Right now, going into a 3-on-2, they have they still have that Sova ult right there, which is what I think he's running back for, is to play for that ult. Let's see if Chandler can catch
Oh,
him out.
unfortunate.
Now, right now, Spring Hill needs to fall back into a way more passive hold. With Killjoy having both her bots available as well as the Sova ult, if they lose this round, it would be...
Yeah, let the turrets do some work.
All the info in the round.
Good
There
job.
we go.
They are able to hold on to it, and good news is they do keep that Sova ult and the Killjoy ult for next round. Being able to win those rounds without having to use those, which pretty much, you know, you get the plant down, you can play a little more passive, play offsite, especially with that Sova ult, and then call in, stop that defuse for a little bit, delay it, and you know, could potentially bring in a time win with the bomb exploding.
Yeah, seeing as they have so many ults still, there's just so much that they can do right now. If they want to go for an early pick here with one of the entry fraggers, that'd be huge with the Sage Res still available.
Yoru ult, or I'm sorry, Yoru flash coming through. Chandler picking up a kill there.
They're finding what's working for them is getting that mid pick. Now, I'm just curious if they're going to funnel into mid again. That would be
Good trade,
very
good trade.
trades.
And we have the ult coming through from Sage.
Now, one thing that Sage could do right now is wall off TT, and then all they would have to worry about is sight. Let's see if he'll be able to put that up. Perfect.
You should run.
And then the ult to slow them down. This is a great hold.
Placing alarm bot.
And all that
With all-
Killjoy utility going down.
All this Killjoy utility, as well as the bright side, is Sova is inside of B main. So if he does end up falling off after he gets the stage pick here, we'll see if he'll use his ult this round. If it'll be more of a passive hold still. Let's just see.
Good pick up there. North Alabama looks like they're gonna have to save here. Spring Hill try to get out of here alive without losing anything. Chandler's gonna get caught. And Sage does as well, but it is a round win. So it is unfortunate that they didn't make it out with their weapons, but it is a round win for Spring Hill. Stop the bleeding. That's a 2-round swing for them. They went down 6-0, and now winning those last 2 rounds in a row does stimulate their economy a little bit. And you can look on the other side, look at North Alabama, and see how they're hurting a little bit right now.
Yeah, with a round win here, North Alabama could definitely be hurting. It's been a very good job out of Spring Hill here, being able to turn these 2 rounds back in their favor. Even with those 2 guns down last round, they did a very, very good job of slowing down that North Alabama push to where those 2 guys on site only had to kill that 1 guy for them to win that round. Great flash here. Should be an easy kill. Easy cleanup.
Oh, wow.
Great plays. Great plays.
All right, the door is shutting. A little late on the door, but we got the spike. Spike's going down. Great pickups there for Calvin. Picking up the double. We do have the Sova ult coming through from North Alabama. Going to clear this site.
See, the thing here now is that he still has his ult. So the longer that they're off the bomb,
Yeah. Unfortunately, they were
him
able to.
adjusting that to the left at the end there really saved the other team from 2 kills there. Otherwise, he would have been able to get those 2 kills. It would have been a one-on-one against the Rays that pushed him.
Was unfortunate they were able to get the first half of the defuse down. So looking across now, North Alabama, their Yoru is still struggling a little bit with Econ. Last round, he had to have a teammate buy his Vandal for him. Now sitting at only 900 credits. Sova's doing well for himself. But this is another kind of pivotal round here for Spring Hill from the economy standpoint. Brim ult coming through is going to tag Menst a little bit and catches out 2 of the Spring Hill players. I'm not sure trying to run back out of it that way was the best call. Maybe even push forward would have worked out a lot better. Yoru flash coming in, and they don't pull away from it. Could be inexperience with the agent.
I think they need to go back to what was working for them. They had a very good mid take going on where they were getting that early info and getting that Euro picked early. Right now, it's looking a little routine. Back to their old ways, and that's something that we just can't see right now.
Right. So we have a big boom to the North Alabama economy here. Everybody's sitting over 4,000 and bringing in guns from the previous round. So they're going to be healthy for the next 2 rounds for sure. Spring Hill resorting to stingers here.
Right now, Spring Hill really just has to feed Brandon his alt orbs so that coming into the next round they can do a B take with that Killjoy alt. This round should really just be a round where they do as much damage as possible, but either way, both teams will have a full buy going into the next round.
All right, good info from the Phoenix, but they're getting mowed down from North Alabama here. Do get the kill on the Rays before the ult comes out. However, it does its damage, and now we have Zion all by himself on site. He cannot get the spike down. The shock arrow comes through.
Last round before the switch.
We're not seeing, as you were saying, they're not mixing anything up. We're not seeing distractions to another side of the map. It's all or nothing. They're hard committing to one of the sites and then just bringing all 5 members there and hoping for the best. There's no reason for North Alabama to split. As soon as some action happens on one of the sites, they can all hard commit, all rotate over, and then it just becomes a 5v5.
Yeah, it's very difficult to watch, especially after seeing them do a really good job with mid control when they did split it up and then going away from that.
A little cheeky move there from the Rays. See her satchel charge up to get a view through the window. So she knows how many Spring Hill players are here. As the Sova arrow does come through, there's a pick off in mid. The Sova opt onto Chandler's Omen. The Yoru ults in. Let's see if he's...
So with the Euro alt, they can see him if they're within the circle, but they cannot shoot him.
Oh, and walking right into the headshot. That is not how to do it. But Spring Hill does pick up 2 kills there. So we do have, now we have a 2v2 with a Sage and a wall and a res. We don't want to peek the op. That's a big no-no. The wall does come up.
The wall there. Good slow orbs to slow them down. It looks like not able to get a res off, possibly. I feel like Sage could get a res here back sight, which would definitely help even if it is.
Good pickup there from Zion. Yeah, they're going to try to weather this and not get tagged through the wall.
They know which way he has to come at this point. Now all they have to do is trade.
Good trade from Zach there. Picking up that kill, and that's going to give Spring Hill that round, and that's going to be right before the switch, too. So 9-3. Now we get back to this pistol round and see if Spring Hill can do any better on defense, which I think is going to play more to their comp with the Killjoy.
Here.
Absolutely, yeah. Their comp right now is an absolute stud of a comp, especially for defense. This map, it's no surprise to comebacks. Even playing at my rank, I know that when my team goes down 10-2, 9-3 at halftime when we're on attacking side, most of the time nobody gets their hopes down too much just due to the fact that this is one of those maps where defense is so heavily favored if you have a good defensive comp. So we'll see what they can do here. They should hear the early A info at this point, start sending the rotates over.
Good pickup there from Calvin.
Absolutely huge.
Another pickup for Calvin. That's 2, and now North Alabama down to only 2 players. The bomb is coming down, but you see all the rotates coming over from Spring Hill. The blind, I'm sorry, the smoke coming in from Omen. Killjoy's on top. Takes out the Brimstone. And now it's a hunt for that final Sage, and they do take her out. And just as you said, The defense coming back on this map, definitely not unheard of, and we see Spring Hill busting out a 5-for-1 round. Great job, great bounce back for them.
A really good thing that I'd like to point out that round by Chandler was as soon as they got that initial contact in those first picks, Chandler ran right back through the other team's smoke and fell off into a position where he could wait for the rest of his team to trade when they have that advantage. Whether that was on purpose or not, that's another question. But he did a very, very good job that round, and the setup on B this round should be unbreakable. Between the Killjoy setup and all the info that Sova can get with his arrows, we'll see what the other team will do with that.
Revealing area.
You see North Alabama full stacking here too, similar to the way Spring Hill's been doing.
Now, Sova should be spamming this wall pretty soon here with that Deagle. One of the things when they shoot out his arrow there, the only 2 or 3 guns that can shoot through that wall are an Ares, an Odin, and that Deagle that he has in his hand, or the Sheriff. So the reason why people do that is because Hiko originally, when he started playing this map, he's a Sova main. So when he would get info with that, he would shoot them through the wall with that Deagle to do early damage to them before they actually executed onto the site.
We did see the North Alabama Rays did take a lot of damage off of that, and the Sage did end up healing her. As you can see, she is tagged a little bit, but here comes the push from North Alabama. Great one tap there from Zion, taking out the Sova. We have the Killjoy trap taking out the Rays. Mintz does take another one out, and we're left with a 4v2 in favor of Spring Hill. That Deagle doing more work from Zion. And then Calvin picking up the final kill near spawn. Great job from Spring Hill. Good bounce back. That's 2 rounds in a row.
Very good setup there, and very great job by Zion of just being able to take that first contact and being able to hit that first shot. That opens up the round so much for Spring Hill. With Brandon's current setup onto the B site, with that, they cannot push the right side of the map, or the right side of the catwalk. And all that Zion has to worry about is that left side push, which is why he was able to get that second shot onto Sova. Great job by the guys. Let's see how they do it on this next gun round.
So we start to see North Alabama split up this time. Zion didn't see anybody with start, and he's having an aggressive push here. A very aggressive push. I'm interested to know what the comms are for this, unless the call was hard A. About to have some contact here. And North Alabama just played it better.
So one thing that Spring Hill is doing at the moment is something that I was talking to them about, is called a bonus round. So a bonus round is where you keep all these less than average guns from the last round, and you just use that to do as much damage as you can to the other team's economy while being able to get a full buy into the next round.
Super risky though, especially with the round count, you know, climbing up for North Alabama, sitting at 9.
Yeah, absolutely. Not being able to win this round it doesn't hurt them too much, but they definitely need to win this next round. As you can see right now by just looking at their money, they will be able to have more than a comfortable full buy with full utility. As where the other team, if they were able to take down, I mean, even just one more gun, the amount of damage that does to the other team's utility going into this next round and the round after, if they're able to close it out, is just astronomical, to the point where they will not be able to recover until the scoreline is 10-8.
We have a full buy coming out from Minced on the Killjoy, dropping all the way down to 200 creds. We see everybody else staying fairly healthy. Chandler coming in at 1,800, so just under kind of what he wants to be working with going into the next round. But Zion, Zach, and Calvin, as you were saying, sitting pretty healthy, especially Zion at 3,900 being able to save that previous round. So we'll see what this arrow picks up here. And it's not going to pick up any North Alabama players. They do avoid that. So we'll see what Spring Hill does as they're trying to read the map here, find out where North Alabama's pushing, what kind of play they're looking to make. Sorry, the drone was coming through.
Now, something really nice coming out here by Northern Alabama is that they are clearing up that catwalk very quietly. Chandler not really holding an angle for that push if they do so choose to push in. But they're working a very nice default here, and I'm curious to see how Spring Hill is going to adjust with that.
Yoru footsteps are coming through. See if it throws Spring Hill off a little bit as we're about to see some contact over here.
See, in that situation, that's a very bad play by their Yoru to send those footsteps up while they walk behind it. It kind of ruins the purpose of walking up that lane.
Spring Hill not able to make the rotation in, and North Alabama just takes complete control of the site straight through all of the Killjoy's defense. Phoenix coming in. He is going to pop the ult there. Try to do some damage here, get some recon. Just get in there. You're not going to die. There we go. Good wall bang. He did see the Yoru off to the side, but this is not going to be a win for Spring Hill. He does not have enough time to clear everybody out. That's going to be a round win for North Alabama. Just looks like they didn't get the rotates in on time, and North Alabama outsmarted them.
Yeah, just full-on capitalization by North Alabama, and it's very hard to bounce back from this now at this point. They're going to have to at least somewhat force buy into this round. They can't do a half buy here. Just have enough for next round, but at the same time, this is a round where you really have to step up. You got to get that early information, and you got to take fights as a team. Otherwise, this game is about to slip away very, very fast, and this game could be over within the next 5 minutes.
You see Calvin coming in with the judge there, so it'll be interesting the angle he's holding here. See if that comes into play. And if North Alabama decides to challenge them there, as we see a very similar play here with the Omen watching. We do have the flash coming through. Calvin's going to peek with the judge, doesn't see anything.
So Calvin had a really nice play there at the beginning, wall up to make them have to clear wide, which will give away all the info, but that pick coming out is huge.
Chandler unable to grab that up. He's split. They were surrounded. Almost probably would have been better to shut the door before committing to double peeking the door at mid. Shock arrow doing some work. Lucky gaming here from Brandon, but it's not going to be doing much as a flawless comes through from North Alabama, not losing a single member. Spring Hill's hurting.
It's nice to see Spring Hill being able to pick up 5 rounds in this first map. Their confidence usually builds, and they start to get more in a groove as the games go on. So we'll see how they can handle their next map, which is actually their map pick. Coming to Ascent right now, I wouldn't be too heartbroken. I would just say as long as they realize their mistakes from this past map on attack, they should be able to capitalize on Haven for sure. With 3 bomb sites, being able to actually get into that default is just a huge, huge boost to their team. I mean, just from seeing what the other team's doing right now, Yoru with the footstep fakes towards A, hopefully trying to draw either Brandon or Zion on that rotate, which they're able to do flawlessly, and this is going to be a full-on retake for Spring Hill.
And you can see over here, Spring Hill full buying the action over there at A, and you look at the mini map there. Definitely unfortunate. They're gonna, oops, a little oopsie there from Raze.
I actually believe that Ray's satchel was on purpose to destroy that Killjoy utility that was sitting there.
Okay.
So that they wouldn't have to run through it.
All right, there is the Sova ult coming through. They do get the spike down, though, as Spring Hill's coming through. It is a 4-for-4 right now, 4-on-4, rather. We'll see if Spring Hill can come through as the North Alabama Sova ult is coming through. Some fancy feet from Brandon, but Spring Hill's got some work to do. They can't... Hey, here comes the Killjoy ult. Does he get it down? He does get it down, but...
Great job by the ult, though, just because Chandler are able to get that pick and B main, they're not able to destroy that at this moment. So we'll see if they're able to wait long enough. They have one player detained in the backside. As long as they can pick up that Euro,
they need to defuse. I don't think they got the defuse.
Big mishap there by Spring Hill. 3 guys all chasing down the one guy who couldn't shoot back at them.
Yeah, they only needed one person to go after the detained unit, and yeah, kind of lost focus Lost track of what was most important right there. But again, this is not a map that they regularly play. This is our first competitive Ascent map. If I recall correctly, everything's been Bind and Haven. It's been Bind and
Yeah,
Haven for the past 2 weeks for sure, and so Ascent was definitely new for us.
I know they're trying to lean away from Bind at this point. They're wanting to make Split their new map. I definitely am 100% confident in these guys on Haven. Before these matches, currently, we actually ran a little bit of a death match competition against each other, just to get their aim warm and make them comfortable on the map. So I made them all put in some music in their headphones. We just ran around shooting heads. So hopefully, going into this game, they'll feel confident on Haven with what they've been able to do in the past. And I mean, let's shoot for a new record. Let's get 6 rounds at least.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
A win would be nice.
Yes,
But
100%. All right, is that going to do it for you?
yeah, that's gonna have to do it for me. I have a league match coming up. I appreciate you letting me stop by and hang out and talk, but I will definitely be back again because this was fun.
All right, I'm dropping your Twitch chat or your Twitch channel in the chat. I know you said not to, but I'm gonna do it anyways.
It's
So
done.
be sure y'all check out twitch.tv/MattRandomX to get some immortal gameplay out of him and support that channel. He does a great job of kind of helping out our players, and he's been a good friend to them and almost kind of a coach as well. So show him some love and support. You'll get some quality gameplay there from a nice guy for sure.
Yeah, after you guys see this Spring Hill sweep come back, the reverse sweep, get that 2-1. Yeah, feel free to stop by my channel. I'll be streaming some Immortal Scrims tonight with my new team. So yeah, have a good one. Thank you so much for letting me stop by.
Of course, man. Thanks for the help. Have
Yep.
a good one. All right, we are heading into map number 2, which should be Haven, I believe. So we had Ascent. I'm assuming Split is map 3. Is Split map 3? Yeah. So Icebox got banned and Bind got banned. So we're looking at Haven for map number 2. And the guys here are kind of going through some last minute strats here as they are talking before they go into game on Haven. Haven is Spring Hill's map choice, so that I think that is really critical to bring up. It's a really big point to bring up because it's because it's their choice. You would assume, I think it's safe to assume that this is the map that they have the most confidence on. So that is what we'll be looking at here. We are going to see, at least we should see, a mix-up in those comps, or the comp at least from Spring Hill. We're likely won't see the Killjoy come out. I know Killjoy is something that Brandon likes to bring in for Ascent specifically when we've played competitive and things of that nature. I know that's really the only time I see him play Killjoy is when he's on Ascent. Other times it's typically Reyna. But we'll see what happens here as we're getting into game. We're getting into agent select here. We're going to swap over, and hopefully Streamlabs is going to cooperate with me, and it does. How about that? All right. So we have the lock-ins coming in very, very quickly. We like that. There was no, not a lot of wasted time there as looking at the comps across from each other. We do see on the Spring Hill side a Cypher Sova. So we have a lot of information gathering from Spring Hill. Likely send Sova and Cypher both over towards A side. Not necessarily towards both of them on the site, but both of them likely over there. We do have Brandon coming through on Omen with the smokes, and then Calvin going back over to Sage. So this is more of a kind of a default strat that we do see Spring Hill run with these pickups or these agent selections here. The only thing that's really new here, I think is the Omen. So typically we would have a Brimstone here, at least in the past we have, but Brimstone does have to tank his economy a little bit, trying to buy his smokes. He does have 3 to use, whereas Omen gets his, for free. So that does kind of help out a little bit. So, and the increased range on the Omen smoke. So as you can see in the mini map up there, we do see North Alabama mounting their initial strategy here as we see the Cypher camera that is setting up high. That is a sneaky little camera there, and he is gathering a little bit of information here, and it does look like North Alabama was able to sniff it out as the push from them does come in. Chandler is able to pick one up. North Alabama does get the plant down. It's a 5v4. Spring Hill looks like they can try to mount this retake here, although they're already on the site. It's not much of a retake, but North Alabama is coming through with the frags. It's now a 2v2, a 2v1. Here comes the wall. And we'll see what Brimstone has for this. He's going to try to break the wall with his pistol, but it looks like Sage is just going to be able to stick it and get the defuse. What a play there. Nerves of steel from Calvin. Let's get a hill yeah in the chat for that one. Nerves of steel, sticking the defuse. A great wall, great play there. The 2v1 almost, guarantees the round win there. One can stick the defuse, but it was a great plant from North Alabama, planting it long so that they could fall back down to Cubby and watch it. But as we see that, some jiggle peeking coming out here from that. Okay, so he does see one here. We'll see if he continues to do this. And it looks like we have some counter jiggle peeking here from North Alabama. So a great bailout there from Zach, not taking any damage there. Calvin throwing up the wall here mid. He does lose out on that trade. Needs to keep his gun more at head height. He's put about 3 in the chest for Raze. Raze is now being healed up there from the North Alabama Sage. Spring Hill now making a full rotate over here to A, but they still don't have a lot of knowledge on where North Alabama is. As we start to see the push come through here, great pickup there from Brandon. He's kind of caught in that crossfire. Pickups there from Chandler. It is now a 2v2 on the map, so we'll see what Spring Hill can do here with Zion coming back. I'm sorry, Chandler coming in on the Sova, Zion on the Cypher. Sitting up in heaven. The flashes come through from the Yoru. Spring Hill needs to get on this. They are running out of time to get this defuse. One down. And can they get the defuse? Is there enough time for this? It looks like there might be. And that is a quick 2-0 for Spring Hill. Great job on Haven. We have some spastic actions going on there from them. But here we go, round number 3. Looking at the economy across the board, we have rifles coming in for some of the agents here. But you see Spring Hill operating on a bonus round here. It looks like buying some. Looks like 3 light armors, a lot of SMGs, 1 heavy sitting on Zion. And the top fragger right now for Spring Hill is Chandler Dupuy. He's gonna like seeing those numbers. This arrow coming out of garage early. It is destroyed, so that does give Spring Hill a little bit of recon there. Sage wall goes down. Wall's already broken mid. So it's gonna put Spring Hill on edge a little bit. Another slow orb coming out from Calvin. Zion with the Cypher camera still looking. We're going to try to... And here come the smokes from North Alabama as they're making their push onto this site. Great molly coming through, and the TP comes in. He is stopped a little bit short. I don't think that's what he intended to do. And it's now down to Calvin, and he is surrounded. Definitely some botched plays there from Spring Hill. It's unfortunate. It was their bonus round, so they are fairly healthy with their economy. So you're going to see some rifles and some heavy armor come through now for this round, which is definitely what they need. They need to try to swing this back in their favor. We do have the Phoenix ult ready to go. Chandler still top fragging, 7 kills. Here we are in across 3 rounds, 7 kills. So he's at the top of that frag board. As we see North Alabama coming in also with the Sage ult. So Spring Hill likely looking to keep an eye on that, but that's something that they can use to kind of turn the tide of this, especially with these early trades. North Alabama can be a little more aggressive on some of these pushes, knowing that they have the Sage in their pocket to be able to wall up and get a res off. Great dodge of the flash there from Chandler. And your Sage can't res anybody if she's dead, but the Yoru is able to pick up 2, but Mintz picks one up on the other side of the map that we missed. He did have a flank here, it looks like. So now we have a 3v2 as another Spring Hill player picks up a kill. Smoke's coming through long. Cypher eating some damage through the smoke.
Who's next?
So they know where one player is.
30
Yoru ult
seconds
is
left.
coming in. Surely using that to get a plant down. Or gather some information, but Spring Hill holding steady, but North Alabama's running out of time. They've got to get on this site and get a plant
10
down.
seconds left. Spike planted.
Good pickup there from Spring Hill. They were not able to capitalize and get the second kill, but it is a 2v1 now.
Player standing.
It's up to Zach now. And he does not... Oh, he used his ult, which is great. So great info, great intel gathering here. He's got to check those corners. He's got to go. He's running out of time. And he was looking at the wrong direction. Just some tough gunplay there from Spring Hill. What's up, man? Spring Hill now sitting at 2-2 on Haven, which is their map again. So off to an early 2-round lead, and now we have North Alabama making their comeback, winning 2 rounds in a row. So now 2-2 on the map. North Alabama making a hard rush over here towards A, as a great defense there from Zach. Smokes are coming through. Spring Hill abandoning on this side. Looks like they're going to commit to the retake. But they did get an early pick, so we do have a 5v4 as the Raze ult comes through. Doesn't look like it picked up anybody. Great pickup there from Brandon. Spring Hill now 5v2. There's the Brimstone ult coming through, looking to zone them off, but Spring Hill looks like they're healthy enough to attempt this retake. It definitely is in their favor. So now somebody needs to stick on that defuse. And we're not going to have the Great Wall in. Chandler is stuck in there with the Brimstone while Zach is defusing, but we definitely didn't make the same mistake we made on Ascent. One person stuck the bomb, let Chandler chase after it, make him do the dirty work. Great job, Spring Hill. Going up 3-2 on the map. We got some Hilyas in the chat. We appreciate that. Looks like Brandon needs to work on his Omen TPs. As we do see Chandler, looks like he's sitting on a SMG now. There you go. There he buys the armor. He's going to roll with the SMG, hold on to some of his money as a lot of rifles coming through, but we see North Alabama is struggling with their economy. This is a must-win round for them, or they're going to go into a 2-round hole, which does put a lot of pressure on Spring Hill. That's a heavy take here onto the C site where Cypher is holding it all by himself, taking a ton of damage, needs a heal from the Sova, but he sprays into the smoke, does pick up one. He's not getting a heal from his Sage. He does not win the trade out with the Yoru. And we're starting to see Spring Hill fall apart. Cypher may have stayed way too long on that site. Chandler does pick up one, makes it a 2v2. And he swings way too wide. Wide swings, we've seen that happen in the past. Not good play from Spring Hill. Does give up the round, brings North Alabama tied up 3-3. So looking across the board now, that does hurt Spring Hill now. They are going to have probably a limited buy here. It looks like some light armors with some stingers, maybe a Spectre coming through. Whereas North Alabama, that was a big boom to their economy. We see rifles across the board for North Alabama. Wall being destroyed. Slow orb coming down from Calvin. With Alabama putting a lot of attention here to mid. Chandler does take one out, a trade of 1 for 1. Zion trying to keep eyes on C and hold garage at the same time. Yoru footsteps come through, but he's looking at his camera as they're peeking him. Mintz picks one up, makes it a 3v3. North Alabama trades off, takes out Sage. Now we're left with Omen and Phoenix versus the Yoru, Brim, and Raze, and we are at full health across the board except for this Omen. And he is not able to flick fast enough to pick up the Yoru. So now we have the Phoenix ult coming through. See what kind of info he can get here. Yoru, well played, TP'd back, but his body is going to get caught here for sure. There's a pickup there. Almost a second one. Looks like he dinked the Brimstone, but was not able to get the kill. So that is going to be a clean North Alabama win. But due to the limited buy from the previous round of Spring Hill, their economy is still fairly strong. So you see now the team's looking about even on their money across the board, with the exception of Cypher, who's a little in the hole. Chandler really stepping up this map. Putting in work, getting some trade kills, even getting some clean 2 for 0s. A really quick kill there onto Phoenix. Didn't see what happened there. Looks like he must have been caught jiggle peeking and maybe committed a little too much to that. And Spring Hill now trying to retake a site with a numbers disadvantage.
You will not kill my ally.
They do pick up the breach, but the Sage does bring it back. So now it's a 3v5. Calvin picks one up. Spring Hill, pressure is on for them to get onto the site. Sobol comes through, does tag, looks like the breach. The breach does trade onto the Cypher. Quick 2 picked up from Chandler, but he doesn't have enough time really to get the bomb. He's gonna drop and take a lot of health. Maybe he can pick up a kill on his way out. He does. He picks up himself. And that's going to be another round win for North Alabama. And looking across the board, Spring Hill is able to do another full buy. With the exception of Cypher. Cypher bringing a lot of that utility to C site. Over at him and see he's just rolling with the classic. Not going to win any gunfights. As a bum rush here from North Alabama. Chandler is caught out. A lot of info gathered there from the Yoru ult. North Alabama just asserting their dominance here. It's like a completely different team here compared to what we saw at the very beginning of this map. 2v5. Spring Hill surely talking about whether or not it's worth to commit too hard to this or to save their rifles for next round, knowing how difficult it is. It's going to be for them to buy anything. As you see, North Alabama playing way off site. Yeah, they are sitting. They don't have a Brim ult ready. But they are bailing out. They're just spraying onto that bomb. Spring Hill making a wise decision here, bailing out, letting the bomb go, saving rifles on the Omen and the Phoenix. So it helps them out a little bit, but it looks like the rest of Spring Hill is going to have to be content with maybe a Stinger Light. And Chandler's going to buy out. Chandler's going to go Vandal heavy. This round here is this a must-win for Spring Hill to bring their economy back in line. You see North Alabama really running away with the credits right now. Sage taking some damage. She's going to heal that up pretty easily. The wall comes up. A lot of infinites there. Bum rushing the Sage here. She is able to bail out. Hopefully she can get into that smoke as the breach comes through. A pickup there. A trade. A 1-for-1. Brandon TPing over. And North Alabama doesn't commit to the B plant.
Spike planted.
Okay, they plant it over here at A, and they're looking to catch some Spring Hill in passage with this breach lurking here. Great pickup there from Zion. So a 2v3. These are manageable numbers for Spring Hill, especially with the blind coming through and the utility that Cypher brings. Omen does send the blind out. He picks up the brimstone in hell. The defuse is coming through. He gets about half of it. And it's a one-on-one here. Some damage taken on the drive. He does not get half the defuse. He does pick up the kill, but he's not able to get the defuse in time. Great play from North Alabama. Fortunately, they do take a lot. They take all the guns away from North Alabama. Forces them to spend some of their money. And now we're going to see Cypher coming in, hopefully with a buy. He's going Phantom heavy. It looks like Phantoms and Vandals across the board, except for Chandler, who with his full buy last round is going to put him a little bit behind. He's got to run with the Spectre.
Scanning ahead. There they are.
Sovadar does pick up one. Good pickup there from Chandler. So that's a numbers advantage right now on the map for Spring Hill. Now I just need to play that to their advantage. Phoenix making some noise here with his peeking. Sees, bails out, does not take any damage. Great job there from Zach. We've got the information that they need. The blind coming through, the smoke coming through from Omen. Not sure if North Alabama's going to be on that push. Calvin here walls up B. Wall is destroyed. Still, North Alabama playing it slowly. He knows they're here now. There's a telegraphed breach. Now we have all the smokes coming through onto B's site. Spring Hill now making those heavy rotations over, waiting for the rest of their players to get here for this retake. Omen is now a great blind onto site. There's so many walls here on site. The Omen is caught TPing. Spring Hill needs to get onto site. Great pickups there. They need to get on this and start the defuse. Do they get it? And they do get the defuse. Zion sticks it. Nerves of Steel, bringing Spring Hill back to within 3. Last round in the half.
This goes here.
I would argue that Spring Hill has a more defensive-oriented comp than North Alabama does, so that could be telling for them. North Alabama having the advantage here with the attackers. Spring Hill not really executing as much, but because North Alabama doesn't have that big defensive comp, that could be good news for Spring Hill whenever they're attacking. Chandler in a really weird position there. You have no escape when you're pinning yourself back in that corner. So a 1-for-0 there. The Sage wall does go down. Here comes the plant. Mintz picks one back up in transition. Phoenix on his way, trying to get there. Really lagging behind. We have with the Cypher ult coming through. Might as well. It is the last round, or the last round in the half. Spring Hill. Clock is ticking. Great pickup there from Menst. Phoenix with the flank, and he doesn't check his corner.
Last player standing.
Spike diffuser gets killed. And there really wasn't much he could have done there.
Switching sides.
At the end of the half, it's only Spring Hill only 4 rounds down. North Alabama still needing to win 5. Once we start to see what Spring Hill is going to bring on the attack side of this map. I believe the most rounds they've won on a competitive map has been 5. So we'll see what happens here. Spring Hill definitely adapting, doing better than what they did last map. They are sending the Cypher over to A side. Potentially make some noise. Spring Hill feeling confident to push this long C. It is the pistol round, so you're not going to lose out on any rifle trades. We do see North Alabama responding to the Cypher. Smokes come through. There's the flash, and Spring Hill is on site. Some awkward pistol action there. They do pick up the Phoenix, but we do have a great Sage wall here. And he does see the Rays peeking. There's a little bit of a gap there. Calvin does go down. Menst on back of sight. He's able to... Oh, I say he dinked the Sage, but did not do enough. A good right click there from Zion. In a 1v4, there's not much. 1v5, rather, there's not much he's going to be able to do.
No charges.
So maybe some nerves there. So we had a great dink there on the Sage from Brandon, but we have some other, probably just some nerves coming through, a lot of erratic gunplay. Let's see what Spring Hill's bringing to the table now. North Alabama now within 4 rounds of clinching the series. Okay. So the breach charge does come through. Some blind fire through the smoke, but we still see Spring Hill hard committing all 5 members to this one side of the map. You do see North Alabama, looks like they're getting some rotations in. Spring Hill may be calling off this A push. They didn't know the numbers that they had working with there. So it looks like the call now is garage. The smoke is coming through. A Rays grenade comes down, and now you start to see North Alabama getting their rotations coming in. We see Sova on point. Makes initial contact with the Sage. We have the plant going down. Cypher's traded out, picked up by the Rays. Chandler picks up a second one.
Right here.
Don't peek that. Don't peek that. You don't have to peek that.
Last player standing.
And that is going to be a wipe. All right. North Alabama now within 3. Spring Hill need to wait more for their utility to come back online.
I need a drop.
see money coming through Spring Hill. This is going to be a tough round for them. Look like Stinger and Spectre Light into North Alabama's 4 Vandals and Heavies. Spring Hill looking to make this a close quarters fight, but again, they're committing heavily to A. See Brandon on point here. The Sage wall is down. If they commit to breaking this, gotta go as fast as Cypher's able to pick one up. There's another one stuck in heaven as the North Alabama rotations are coming in. Cypher ate nearly all of that raise grenade for some reason. Sage wall goes up, Sage wall goes to plant, but he is the last one alive. It's very questionable decisions there from Spring Hill. Took a while for that play to develop, and there was no reason for North Alabama to suspect anything on the other side of the map.
Out of charges.
Spring Hill now splitting on the map. Looks like we have 2 going towards C, 2 over here at Garage, and then Cypher lurking back here near spawn, trying to catch the flank coming through for North Alabama if one comes through.
Spike carriers down.
Omen goes down early, but we do have the bomb picked up, and Cypher's able to trade and grab the Yoru, so a 4v4 right now. Sage is 1 kill away from getting her ultimate. They walk right into that breach, but Breach is able to pick up 2, a 2 for 1. Sage is able to get the res in.
I know exactly where
Sound has been made, so Spring Hill committing to this push here. We're going to watch the Phoenix. Good flash over there. Unable to pick up
One enemy
the
remaining.
Sage there. It's a 2v1 now for Spring Hill, though. They are getting the plant down. Phoenix going to heal himself up. Now Spring Hill in this 2v1 post plant. They know where the raise is.
Satchel out.
Oh, and a headshot while she's in the air. I was spectating that one. We're going to have a good highlight for Zach there. Great job from him, picking up the raise. He went skeet shooting. As now we have Spring Hill recovering a little bit. Breaking out the rifles, except for Calvin. Calvin's running with Spectre Light. The rest of Spring Hill running with Vandals Heavy, and then a Phantom Heavy out of Chandler. And looking across the board at North Alabama, you can see a very light round for them, and you see their strategy they're employing here as Chandler picks up 2 really quick. Interesting North Alabama strategy there, and it looks like Spring Hill is completely abandoning that side of the map, and they're going to go plan at A. Interesting strategy from North Alabama. The Frenzy SMG light rush straight down C to try to catch them off guard. And this is going to be a pretty good pickup here for Spring Hill, because that is going to definitely hurt the economy of North Alabama. They have enough credits there that they'll be okay. But for subsequent, they're going to have to buy out next round. And that's going to give Spring Hill a good buy too. Hopefully, let's see if Calvin can get on this. They're going to try to catch Spring Hill on the rotation back out. And they do take out the Phoenix. Calvin's able to get one of them. And They do take out Calvin too, but an interesting turn of events there. Cool strategy there from North Alabama. And I think Chandler foiled that, taking out 2 of them with that phantom spray. Now we see what Spring Hill brings there. We see the Omen Smoke going towards window and garage as Sova here is just hopping outside a window. He does make contact with Yoru in B site. There's the flash. He stares right at it. But he survives. There's the smoke coming into garage again. Looks like Sova. We're going to dart in there. The dart goes all the way to the back wall, and he does not eat any of the raise damage, which is great. The Sage wall goes up towards C. So I have here this little standoff here between Sova and Raze.
Joke's over. You're dead.
As the Phoenix ult comes through, he does pick up 1 as the Raze trades takes out Calvin. The bomb is down on C. Great headshot there from Zach. He's looking to get the plant down. He is the last one up. He does need to heal himself. Catch him in the reload, and he does. Oh, and he's stuck in the brim ult. Oh, and he barely gets out of the breach, rather. He does heal himself. Throws up the wall. Oh, and a great headshot there. That's a 4K for Zach. Great job from him. Brings the round back for Spring Hill. Zach's a human highlight reel tonight. Great job from him. That brings him up. 12 frags on the map for him. So Spring Hill now within 4. They've now broken past their those mental blocks that they've had. Getting past that 5-round win. So, but they're not out of the woods yet. They have hurt the UNA economy a little bit. Spring Hill did, though, have to buy a little bit. A great initial pick there from Chandler. So now Spring Hill, numbers advantage here. UNA on the rotate. Spring Hill needing to play this smart. Do they commit or do they pull off? They do not know how many North Alabama's bringing with them. It looks like they're making the call to pull off instead of committing to A, but they're making a lot of noise on the rotate. So you can see North Alabama responding. Definitely a lot of noise over here on C, so they're going to need to rush this pretty quickly. The wall goes up, but they need to clear sight. You got to clear sight before you plant. And Calvin's trying to stick the bomb while there's still people on site. Shiflo picks up another one with the Ray, so it looks like we're stuck now in a 2v2 and now in a 1v2. It's on Chandler. He knows where the brimstone is. Raze is lit pretty hard.
30 seconds left.
Keep your eyes on the brim.
1 enemy remaining.
20 seconds left. Spring Hill, pressure's on Spring Hill. Spring Hill has to make a move. 20 seconds, 17 seconds left. They've got to get the bomb down. They've got to plant. They've got to plant or get the kill. Pressure's on them.
10 seconds left.
I have the spike.
Oh, and he does not get off, but it's a great move from them. He had to do it. The time was running out. He had to either aggressively try to hunt down the Raze. He did not know how low the Raze was. Had to hunt him down or get the plant down, one or the other. Really tough spot for him to be in. So now we're looking at 12-7 right now.
Thank you.
A bye coming through for Calvin. So Spring Hill now very poor. But looking on the other side of the map, so is North Alabama. Their Sage sitting at 0 credits. Their Breach very poor as well. Looks like the op coming through for him. So Spring Hill now. The op shot, the initial op shot misses. We'll see if Spring Hill commits to trying to peek onto A. Looks like they're not going to commit there, knowing with that powerful tool in the hands of North Alabama, able to hold that angle. Looks like Spring Hill now is looking towards Seaside. Grabbing the ult orb. Brandon's now got that ready. Throwing the smoke towards garage window. We're going to see some contact here mid as the paranoia comes through. Brandon's on site. He is planting. Chandler in a gunfight here. Yoru was scouting. Meanwhile, the bomb is over here on A, and North Alabama is nowhere to be seen except for Breach. Breach is now on site. The camera does pick him up. Here comes the Brimstone ult, and it's all left to Brandon. The blind comes through. Misses the initial op shot, picks up a headshot there, and we'll see. And they do have enough time for the defuse, and that's going to be a map win for for North Alabama. That's going to be a heartbreaker. Definitely some things to go back and look at as we take a look at the final scoreboard here. Some good top frags coming through. Chandler stepping up that map and definitely having some good gunplay there. But we had some issues not clearing sight. We were so rushed to plant and didn't work on clearing sight before we planted, getting those rotations around, checking back of sight. And that caught us off guard a little bit instead of swinging together on that. So definitely some things to clean up that need to be worked on as we have some Hill yes come in the chat. The chat's 5 minutes behind, so they're seeing the curse is broken. The 6-round curse is broken. We're up to 7. So well played there from Spring Hill. All right, so let's go back here. There we go. All right, so that is going to do it for us. Say hey. So Tech hanging out with us here. So we are, that is going to do it for us. We are going to call it a night. We had a couple other follows. K Morris came through with a follow while we were in game. I missed that one. I'm sorry about that. That was 2 hours ago, so if you're still here, thank you. But that is going to do it. That was our match versus North Alabama. Next week, I'll go ahead and give you an update. I believe, let's see who we have next week. Next week, we are going to be against SLU, and that is not that we will be streaming that one again. But the week following will be against Texas A&M. That will be streamed by Conference 1. So we'll be on the official stream with much better casters. You won't have to listen to me the whole time trying to struggle through call outs and all of that. So should be much higher production value then. But either way, thank you all for tuning in, cheering on the Badgers, and we will see you guys next week.